I don't want to. I'm going to do very fully.
The truck was actually coming from Ring Road. It missed a step. So as it was trying to gather itself, fell.
What we are witnessing these days, it is something we can no longer understand.
They should stop telling us and promising us all those promises are fake, giving us this type of promises are fake. We don't want it anymore.
A pleasant evening to you and many thanks for joining us on Beetv Major News at 6, coming to you live from Benin City, the Edo State capital. I am Evelyn Izibili, and now to the news in details. The Edo State Police Command has officially launched the Community Safety Partnership (CSP), a strategic community-driven security initiative designed to strengthen grassroots policing and enhance public safety across Edo State. The launch event, which held at the Victor Y Cooperative Hub, Benin City, was chaired by Reverend Dr. Isaac Isegosene, JP, who commended the initiative as a timely and impactful step towards inclusive and collaborative security management. The CSP is a visionary project conceived by the Commissioner of Police, Edo State Command, CP Monday Agbonika, FDC. Under his leadership, the command has expanded the reach of policing across all communities in the state, encouraging active citizen participation in safeguarding their neighborhoods. The initiative serves as a platform for trust building, cooperation and shared responsibility among security agencies and the people. His Excellency Senator Monday Okwevelo, the Executive Governor of Edo State, was represented by the Honorable Commissioner for Public Security and Safety, Right Honorable Festus Ebia, who reaffirmed the state government's commitment to partnership-based security interventions. He commended the Edo State Police Command for its proactive and community-focused approach to policing. The well-attended event also brought together senior government functionaries, traditional rulers, religious leaders, captains of industry, business executives, community representatives, and security stakeholders, whose presence demonstrated a strong collective resolve to promote community engagement in crime prevention and public safety. In their separate remarks, CP Monday Agbonika, FDC, the CSP chairman, and the governor's representative applauded the initiative, describing it as a vital tool for enhancing intelligence sharing, improving crime prevention strategies, and fostering collective vigilance. The Edo State Police Command reiterates its unwavering commitment to inclusive, people-centered policing and calls on all residents to collaborate with the CSP to ensure a more secure and peaceful Edo State. The Police Service Commission (PSC), in collaboration with the Nigerian Police Force (NPF), has announced the commencement of recruitment into the Nigerian Police Force following the directive of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to strengthen community policing and boost internal security across the country. In a statement signed by the Head of Protocol and Public Affairs, Totin Joku Kalu, the Commission confirmed that 50,000 police constables are to be recruited, with the application portal scheduled to open on Monday, 15th December 2025 and close on Sunday, 25th January 2026. Interested applicants are expected to submit the applications online only via the official portal www.npfaapplication.psc.gov.ng. According to the PSC, the exercise is targeted at expanding the manpower of the force, assuring Nigerians that the entire process will be conducted in medically, physically, and psychologically fit. The Commission noted that detailed guidance will be available once the portal is activated, urging qualified Nigerians to take advantage of the opportunity to serve the nation. Growing concern have emerged in Benin City over what appears to be increasing circulation of adulterated palm oil in local markets as residents express fear about the health risks posed by the harmful substances reportedly mixed into the products. Beetv News Zainab Mohammed reports that many consumers describe the situation as a recurring problem that has persisted for years, noting that some traders are in the habit of mixing palm oil with artificial dyes and other unsafe additives, making the oil appear richer, thicker, or more attractive to unsuspecting buyers.
Palm oil is a staple in many households, used in cooking a variety of meals. Residents highlighted that when the oil is adulterated with dyes, it not only misleads buyers but also exposes families to toxic substances. They also noted that adulteration methods have become more sophisticated, making it harder for buyers to distinguish pure palm oil from contaminated variants. Some noted that substances such as red color dye and other artificial colorants are often used to enhance the appearance of poor quality oil, creating serious public health risks. They stressed that adulterated palm oil poses significant dangers, including cancer, liver damage, and the weakening of the immune system.
Some don't only mix dye, some even grind cola. This is a red cola, and mixed it. And sometimes when you see the oil, a good oil will see how good it is. The black one will be on the top, while the other one on the down. But this very one now, everything mixed up together. And it's a health risk.
It causes cancer.
Residents emphasize that the only effective solution is stronger regulation. They urge the government to revive past inspection practices and deploy dedicated task force to monitor palm oil production, distribution, and sales similar to the system used in the petroleum sector. They added that unions and associations within the palm oil industry should also take responsibility by policing their members and ensuring quality standards are maintained. According to the respondents, enforcing compulsory business registration for all palm oil traders would help regulate the market and make it easier to track offenders. They insisted that anyone found selling contaminated or unsafe palm oil should face prosecution, as the act constitutes a serious offense against public health.
The government have to create a task force to monitor their products. If the government can regulate it, we have to decongest the spread. And also, I feel the government can prosecute those persons who are involved in it should be prosecuted. They should be prosecuted because that's an offense itself. It's an offense.
Send some agent to the markets and check their oil.
Residents further appeal to the authorities involved to intensify market surveillance, conduct random product testing, and create awareness campaigns to educate the public on how to identify pure palm oil. They warn that without strict measures, the circulation of adulterated oil will continue, putting countless lives at risk. In light of these concerns, Beetv News crew visited the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to seek clarification, official response, and planned interventions regarding the rise of adulterated palm oil in the states. However, the Commissioner, Dr. Jerry Uwangwe, was unavailable to speak to the news crew at the time of the visit. Zainab Mohammed reporting for Beetv News.
Motorists flying the Lagos Expressway around the Wilkie axis have again spoken about worsening condition of the road, which they say has become a major threat to motorists. Beetv News Osari Giagobo visited the road and reports that motorists lament the continuous deterioration of the road, which is slowing down movement, traffic build-up, and frequent vehicle breakdowns.
Now say it full everywhere. And if you look this very spot now, pothole dey this place. Where be I say, if person is wey not know if he mistakenly drive speed enter your night, he get accident.
I mean, the festive season, the Lagos Expressway is now busier with more people using the road to travel and move around. Although a large portion of the road remains smooth and motorable, the Wilkie axis has become a major challenge for motorists due to the severe deterioration of one lane of the road, which is now forcing vehicles to use the other lane of the road, resulting in daily hardship for road users. Residents and motorists in the area expressed concern over the worsening and abandoned state of the road, describing it as a serious threat to safe movement, especially for those unfamiliar with the road. They noted that the situation has badly affected the economic activities, stating that business owners have been forced to abandon their shops, adding that the road condition has led to slow movement, traffic build-up, accidents and vehicle breakdowns, particularly during rush hours.
We just dey manage the road. See, now the one way now we just dey pass. That one can cause accident, which is not good. All right. The rainy season, no be small thing, brother. During the rainy season, all year they occupy, especially this filling station. Nobody can enter the filling station and go buy the fuel.
Don't sit a small way, don't spoil like this, so. And nobody, the government not dey talk put. So we just dey manage am, just like this now. When rainy season dey sef, if rain fall, na so e dey full everywhere. And if you look this very spot now, pothole dey this place, wey be like say, if person wey no know if he mistakenly drive speed enter here now, if he get accident.
This road don tey when we dey pass through hard work passing the road. As you can see, this place now, if any motor is coming, you will see them now. They will fall into that pothole.
The residents and motorists passionately appeal to the government to urgently intervene and carry out repairs on the road, noting that if this year's dry season is not used to fix the road, it could worsen and become a serious challenge in the coming year.
This place just where many motor, we just four motor retire. Every day wait till that government come do the road.
While the road has been in a poor condition for years, residents are appealing for swift intervention to restore it to a safe and motorable state. Osarogi Agwebo, reporting for Beetv News.
As the year 2025 gradually winds up, residents across Beetv have begun reflecting on their experiences in the year, highlighting the challenges they faced, the victories they recorded, and the hopes they carry into the new year. Beetv News Zaina Mohammed reports that many residents describe 2025 as a year of mixed experiences, with economic challenges, rising living costs, and security concerns affecting some, while others manage to achieve certain goals and remain hopeful. Despite these difficulties, they express gratitude for life, resilience, and the strength to persevere, noting that progress, however partial, is still worth celebrating.
With just 20 days left, the year 2025 is gradually coming to an end. At the beginning of the year, many people made New Year resolutions and set goals for themselves, but have these goals been achieved? Looking back on the year, many describe 2025 as a period of challenges and unexpected setbacks. While people began with plans and ambitions, economic pressures and unforeseen difficulties slowed progress. Some residents noted that although not all goals were achieved, certain successes provided encouragement and motivation. Despite the hurdles, there is optimism that 2026 will bring fresh opportunities and positive change. Others highlighted the importance of faith, noting that trusting in God helped many withstand difficulties. They encouraged citizens to remain prayerful and hardworking while calling on the government to provide better infrastructure and opportunities in Edo State.
Oh, this year is good. God passed me all the way from January to December. I should give him thanks and praise. Many are dead, many be kidnapped, many be killed even by their farm. But today I'm alive.
It's been a roller coaster year with a lot of ups and downs. However, we have a lot to thank God for. The fact that we are alive and well is more than enough reason for us to thank God. Yes, we had a lot of aspirations. We started the year with a lot of optimism, looking towards achieving a lot of our goals. And with the challenges of the economy, security, and what have you, it's not been an easy year. However, we thank God we are alive to see this day and to see the end of the year. And we are hopeful. For as long as there is life, there is hope. We are hopeful for a better year in 2026.
We plan for a better Edo State, actually. I don't expect Edo State to be at the stage it is now. Everybody should look inward, especially the government, to take Edo State to the next level. I believe they can do it because me as a human being, I believe every man have what it takes to achieve what he wants by the grace of God. I believe so much in prayers, so that's it. Prayer and work to accomplish what we need.
Patience, planning, and realistic goal setting were identified as critical for personal and societal progress. Many emphasize the value of setting achievable objectives according to individual capacity, maintaining focus and trusting that consistent effort would eventually lead to success. Moral responsibility was also stressed, urging both citizens and leaders to act with integrity for the collective good.
When we match that goal, we set a goal for ourselves, within a short of time, we can be able to achieve it.
Other residents echoed similar sentiments. noting that while challenges persisted, accomplishments both big and small should be acknowledged. They stress the need for improved governance, better economic conditions, and lasting peace across Edo State and Nigeria. They express hope that 2026 will bring stability, job opportunities, and growth for families and communities. Beetv News reports that while 2025 came with its shares of setbacks, many residents remain optimistic that with unity, hard work, and renewed spirit, 2026 will usher in a brighter and more prosperous year for all. Zainab Mohammed reporting for Beetv News.
A prominent APC politician and governorship aspirant in Osun State, Hareta Oralusi, has resolved his disqualification issue with President Bola Tinubu following a consultative meeting at the presidential villa. The meeting, attended by key party leaders, focused on unity and party principles, with President Tinubu emphasizing the internal harmony and fairness. Hareta Oralusi, who represents the Ife constituency, had earlier raised concern over his alleged unjust disqualification, which President Tinubu assured would be addressed. The president has directed the APC national chairman to take immediate and necessary action. He also reaffirmed his personal commitment to the Ife constituency, pledging to safeguard its interests. The Senate is expressing concern over what it sees as the selective implementation of President Bola Tinubu's directive to withdraw police personnel from VIPs. Lawmakers report that while their own security details were removed promptly, several private individuals continue to retain full police protection. The reports.
Senator Abdul Hamad Nigi raised the issue under Order 9, lamenting that legislators who are public officials have been left without police protection. He said that meanwhile businessmen, their children, celebrities, and social media influencers still enjoy armed police escort despite the president's clear directive.
I cannot ever imagine that a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who has been here for a very long time, only one orderly, and he is withdrawn, and nothing will happen. Like I said earlier, Mr. President, I have no problem. But let it be done across the board. Let it be done across the board. I can take care of myself, but let me not see governors, ministers, and business concerns being covered by security establishment.
The Deputy President of the Senate, Barau I. Jibril, who presided over the plenary, acknowledged the concern and said the Senate leadership is already engaging with security agencies. He assured lawmakers that the inconsistency raised will be addressed in due course.
No, Mr. President's directive is in order and quite proper. But I want to assure you that the issue raised by to protect you is taken seriously. And the leadership sat yesterday agreed that the course of action should be undertaken in order to restore your police orders to you, because it's in line with international practice. So, and I'm sure we have a listening president. He will listen to us, and by grace of God, he will exempt us from that order.
The controversy has raised broader questions about conspiracy and the criteria used by the police in enforcing the withdrawal order. Lawmakers argue that unequal application of the directive undermines both institutional dignity and the authority of the presidency. To address the issue, the Senate has directed its Committee on Police Affairs to investigate the alleged selective compliance and report back within 4 weeks, a step expected to clarify whether the directive was misinterpreted or selectively enforced. Favor Kolawole reporting for Beetv News.
In Maiduguri, a major humanitarian intervention supporting families affected by the Lake Chad crisis has officially ended. For years, the project provided lifeline, offering food assistance, protection services, and access to clean water to some of the communities hardest hit across northeast Nigeria. The report.
For more than a decade, the Lake Chad crisis has reshaped life across northeast Nigeria, northern Cameroon, and parts of Chad. Entire community were uprooted, livelihoods collapsed, and families struggled to survive amid conflicts. But in Maiduguri today, the tone is different, one of reflection, gratitude, and hope as humanitarian partners gather to highlight the impact of a project that has helped keep vulnerable families afloat.
This project has a groundbreaking kind of impact on the ground. We see a lot of thousands of families have been supported with the food security, especially providing them cash in the lean seasons with 3 trenches of cash.
And even though we are closing out, we are fairly confident that a good number of these initiatives that we have started will be sustained by the community and by the project participants themselves.
Founded by the German Federal Foreign Office and implemented by Caritas Germany, the Catholic Charities Foundation of Nigeria, and the Justice Development and Peace Initiative, the project aims to restore dignity, rebuild resilience, and help vulnerable households regain stability after years of conflict.
We always try to ensure that we incorporate some means of some form of livelihood intervention in our programming. So in as much as we are giving cash, we are also encouraging the people to go into some kind of income generating activities.
They have built their resilience, and then aside resilience, there's also what we call internal generating activity, which will also help forward self-reliance and sustainability.
For many beneficiaries, the support arrived at a crucial moment, helping families regain dignity, restart their lives, and begin the slow journey back to stability. As the intervention concluded, partners emphasized that humanitarian needs remain significant and called for sustained collaboration, continuous funding, and long-term recovery plans, particularly in food security and protection for crisis-affected communities. Favor Kolawole reporting for Beetv News.
The governor of Ekiti State, Abiondu Abayomi Oyebanji, led other dignitaries to receive the first commercial flights at the Ekiti Agro-Allied International Cargo Airport in Ado, Ekiti today. The United Nigeria aircraft carrying 50 passengers arrived around 11 a.m. and departed for Lagos at 12 p.m. The report.
Ekiti State marked a historic milestone by welcoming its first ever commercial flight from United Nigeria Airlines, signaling a major boost to the state's infrastructure and economic development. At 11 a.m. on Wednesday, United Nigeria Flight 0622 landed at the Ekiti International Agro-Cargo Airport to an enthusiastic welcome. Governor Abayomi Oyebanji and senior state officials were on hand to receive the passengers.
This moment is not just the official opening of the airport to commercial passenger operations. It is the launch of a new chapter in our transportation infrastructure development journey.
Representing the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, a federal official described the development as a significant milestone aligning with the national agenda to improve sub-national connectivity and attract investment. The agro-cargo airport is designed to strengthen Ekiti's agro-based economy by enabling faster movement of produce and attracting agro-processing industries. The CEO of United Nigeria Airlines added that it also opens opportunities for expanded trade within and beyond Nigeria.
You have other choices to have chosen from any of the other flag carriers in Nigeria, but it pleased you to reach out to us. We are very, very grateful and assuring you that that trust and belief you have in us, definitely we will not let you down.
Traditional rulers and business leaders describe the airport as a legacy project that reflects continuity in governance.
We know that we have always been at the forefront of anything that has to do with the development of our state, right from the struggle for the creation of the state to this moment.
As the airport begins operations, expectations are high not only for improved transportation, but also for boosting tourism, expanding agribusiness, creating jobs, and positioning Ekiti as a forward-looking state in Nigeria. Evelyn is even reporting for Beetv News.
A recent market survey conducted across key building material shops within the state has revealed a notable reduction in the price of ceramic tiles, accompanied by a corresponding increase in customer demand this dry season. Beetv News Temitope Oluwafemi, who visited Cook Road in Benin City, reports that a carton of tile that formerly sold for 7,500 now sells for 6,500.
Tiles are durable flat pieces of ceramic, stone, proclaimed glass, or other materials used to cover surfaces like floor and walls, used either for protection, decoration, or aesthetic appeal, and they come in different shapes, colors, and sizes. According to findings from traders and distributors, the price of carton of tiles, which previously sold for 7,500 naira, has now dropped to 6,500 naira. This reduction of 1,000 naira per carton has been attributed to a combination of factors including improved supply chain efficiency, competitive pricing among wholesalers to clear existing stock before the year ends.
For this one now, 7.5, but now it's 6.5, including water, everything, all of the drop.
They also noted that the price decrease has had an immediate and positive impact on sales, with many households and property owners embarking on renovation projects typical of the festive period. Demand for tiles has surged significantly. Traders also confirmed that the festive season traditionally drives up sales of building and home improvement materials, as residents often use this period to upgrade, refurbish, or complete ongoing construction projects. The reduction in tiles prices has therefore come at an advantageous time for both sellers and consumers, stimulating market activity and enhancing profitability for stakeholders.
It's increased now because normally before, when things are people not the light turn up, they complain. But now you see, motors they load, they remove to show say customer that they come because of price will drop.
As the holidays draw closer, traders are anticipating even higher patronage driven by increased renovation activities and heightened consumer spending. Temitope Oluwafemi reporting for Beetv.
As the dry season gradually draws close across the country, concerns of fire outbreak have continued to grow. The combination of extremely dry weather, harmattan winds, and increased use of heating appliances have created conditions heightened risks of accidental fires in homes, markets, farmlands, and public spaces in the past. Beetv News Temitope Oluwafemi reports that residents are advised to adopt strict precautionary measures to prevent avoidable fire outbreak.
The dry season is traditionally characterized by low humidity, dusty air, and prolonged periods without rainfall, which are factors that make the environment highly prone to fires. Even the slightest spark from cooking stoves, electrical faults, burning refuse, or careless handling of matches and cigarettes can escalate rapidly into full-blown infernos. Speaking with residents, households are encouraged to ensure that all electrical appliances are properly maintained, avoid overloading sockets, and switch off devices when not in use. They also advise to store flammable materials safely, refrain from indiscriminate burning of refuge, and keep fire extinguishers accessible in homes, offices, and shops.
Throw away cigarette litters indiscriminately should be avoided. When you are going out for road, you off all electrical appliances. You repair the 40 ones. That is at home.
Farmers are similarly urged to avoid uncontrolled bush burning, as harmattan winds can quickly spread fires across vast areas, endangering lives, livestock, and property. Furthermore, parents and guardians have been cautioned to monitor children closely, especially around sources of fire.
What you should do, you do what we call fire tracing. You know the meaning of fire tracing? Like a discard area should be cleared off from the farm, so that by the time fire comes, it will not come closer to the house. Because that is for fire tracing. So what we need to do, those things we know can trigger fire. As for children level, playing with it, trying to make fun of it, at the end of the day, cause fire. Remove it from the house before you leave the house. And parents that leave home very early in the morning, they must go to the market. You should also try and make things, adjust things as well.
Meanwhile, when the news crew visited the Ministry of Public Security and Safety at Palm House along Sapele Road to see the Commissioner, Honorable Festus Odianose, to ascertain the measures the Edo State government have put in place to prevent fire outbreaks and respond to fire incidents this season, the Commissioner was said to be away on other official engagements. As the season progresses, everyone is advised to stay vigilant, prioritize safety, and take all necessary precautions to protect lives and properties. Temitope Oluwafemi reporting for Beetv News.
President Bola Tinubu has emphasized the enforcement of his directive to redeploy police officers currently assigned to VIPs across the country. Nigeria's first fight against kidnapping, terrorism, and herders-farmer conflict is entering a new phase following a presidential order aimed at resetting the nation's security architecture. At the Federal Executive Council meeting, President Bola Tinubu issued a direct instruction to the country's top security chief, warnings of no gaps, no excuses, and no exposure. The president acknowledged that some individuals need special protection, but insisted that VIP security arrangement must not compromise public safety. He also directed the National Security Advisor and the DSS to form a committee to review existing security structures, describing the reforms as urgent and non-negotiable. For years, Nigeria's security forces have faced complex threats, including banditry in the northwest, organized kidnapping syndicates, and violent clashes linked to open grazing. Today, the president signaled a tougher, more coordinated approach and directed that forest guard be armed, aiming to strengthen protection of forests that have become hideout for kidnappers and terror cells. Beyond security, President Bola Tinubu addressed the long-standing farmer-headed crisis, instructing the Vice President to lead the National Economic Council assessment of abandoned grazing reserves with the goal of converting them into functional ranches and livestock settlements. He emphasized that the key challenges now are discipline, urgency, and effective implementation. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Wayidi Shaibu, made his first official visit to Lagos State, focusing on the 81 Division area of responsibility. At Division 1, he inspected the quarter guard and held a closed-door meeting with senior officers. He later visited the 65 Battalion at Boni Cantonment, where he commissioned projects and addressed officers.
Note that we appreciate you for all you have been doing. Remain disciplined, remain focused. Particularly, I want to commend you, all the officers and men of this division, for the rapid response that led to your deployment to restore democracy in the Republic of Benin. That is the hallmark of soldiery. Immediately the instruction was given, the general officers mobilized, and he ensured that that task was carried out effectively. So I said,
the Kwankwasia diaspora reaffirmed its loyalty to the national leader, Rabiu Kwankwaso, following a strategic meeting in Glasgow, Scotland. In a statement by Chairman Moses Ashawa, the group commended Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf for his transformational, people-focused agenda and praised the MI of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi II, emphasizing that Kano's unity and progress remains central to their mission. They also urged the people of Kano to continue supporting Kwankwaso, Governor Yusuf and the Emir, and celebrated the governor's recent Nigeria Excellence Award in public service as recognition of his commitment to effective leadership and meaningful reforms. President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of retired Air Vice Marshal Boubacar Idris Adamu from Borno State as chairman of the Military Pension Board effective December 1st. The president expects him to uphold integrity, demonstrate patriotism, and use his financial expertise to improve the welfare of military veterans. According to a statement from the Director of Information, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the appointment is part of efforts to enhance transparency, accountability, and efficiency in military pension administration. Adamu has previously served as Directing Staff at the Armed Force Command and Staff College, Deputy Director of Budget at the Defense Intelligence Agency, and Principal Staff Officer Finance at the Air Warfare Center. And now to the business segment. Consumer goods company PZ Kusin has decided to retain its Africa operations, citing improving economic conditions in Nigeria and strong population growth projections across the continent. The company made the announcement following a strategic review of its African business, initially flagged in April 2024. The Africa segment now compromising family care and electricals in Nigeria, as well as family care in Ghana and Kenya, generated 141 million euros in revenue and 16 million euros in adjusted operating profits in FY25, accounting for about 27% and 30% of the group's total respectively, the reports.
PZ Kusons outlined a three-pillar strategy to drive growth in Africa. The first pillar, core growth, focusing on strengthening businesses in Nigeria, Kenya, and Ghana through brand building, distribution expansion, in-store execution, revenue growth management, and digital engagement. Category expansion, the second pillar, targets adjacent markets such as men's grooming and beauty, leveraging existing brands like Venus, Imperial Leather, and Premier. The third pillar, Pan-Africa growth, involves extending operations into other African markets using the established footprints in Nigeria and Kenya. The company highlighted the continent's long-term potential, noting that Africa's population is projected to grow by over 900 million in the next 25 years, with Nigeria alone expected to add more than 100 million people. PZ Kusons plans to build a portfolio of locally loved brands, aiming to sustain the double-digit revenue growth achieved in the first half of the financial year, driven by urbanization and the expansion of the middle class. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC, resumed large-scale petrol importation in November, supplying 1.563 billion litres, a near 89% increase from October's 828 million litres. The surge, driven largely by NNPC as the supplier of last resort, was aimed at rebuilding national fuel stocks ahead of the year-end demand peak. Daily petrol supply rose to a record of 71.5 million litres, although actual consumption fell to 52.9 million litres per day. The increase followed months of below-threshold supply, caused partly by the shutdown of the three state-owned refineries in Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna, which produced no new petrol during the month. The Port Harcourt refinery continued limited evacuation of leftover diesel from prior production, averaging 0.349 million litres per day. Additionally, 12 vessels scheduled for October discharge were delayed, further boosting November's volumes. The Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority emphasized that imports were necessary to stabilize supply and maintain affordability. While local refining remained inactive, NNPC and other marketers focused on ensuring availability, keeping prices competitive, and meeting end-of-year demand. Foreign exchange conditions were also cited as criteria in moderating product costs and ensuring continuous market supply. The Federal Operations Unit Zone A of the Nigerian Customs Service in Ikeja has seized goods valued at 10.1 billion naira and arrested 38 suspects over the last 7 months. The outgoing controller, Mohammed Shaibu, reported that 476 interceptions were made, including 23,000 bags of 50 kg foreign parboiled rice, 98 used vehicles, and 2,350 kg of cannabis, 1,820 jerry cans of petrol, firearms, ammunition, drones, and other contraband. The unit also recovered 419 million naira through demand notices, undervalued imports, and handed over 8 containers of expired pharmaceuticals worth 7.5 billion to NAFDAC. Shaibu attributed the successes to strong stakeholder support and dedicated officers, urging continuity in cooperation with the new leadership. His successor, Gambo Aliyu, pledged to strengthen intelligence-driven operations against smuggling and illicit trade, improve professional conduct, build stakeholder relationships, and enhance officers' welfare. Aliyu emphasized compliance, reputation management, and operational change as key priorities. Temitope Oluwafemi reporting for BTV News.
President Donald Trump's large-scale deployments of National Guard troops to several U.S. cities in 2025 has sparked sweeping legal battles with judges in multiple states, revealing that the administration oversteps its authority. Despite the pushback, National Guard personnel remains on federal duty in parts of the country as court proceedings continue. The report.
The deployments began mid-year when Trump ordered thousands of National Guard members to cities including Los Angeles and Washington, D.C. to support federal law enforcement operations tied to immigration enforcement and protest response. The administration argued that the measures were necessary to maintain public order and protect federal assets. State and local officials called the move an unprecedented intrusion into local governance. In Los Angeles, the federalization of roughly 4,000 California National Guard troops prompted immediate political and legal outcry. On December 10, U.S. District Judge Charles Breyer ruled the deployment contrary to law, saying the administration had failed to justify the continued federal control of state troops long after protests had subsided. Breyer ordered the Guard return to California's authority, effectively blocking further federal operations in the city. Washington, D.C. has also mounted aggressive legal resistance. District officials filed suit shortly after the arrival of over 2,000 Guard members deployed under federal command in November. U.S. District Judge Jacob determined that the operation was likely unlawful and ordered the withdrawal of troops by December 11. However, on December 4, the U.S. Court of Appeals of the D.C. the Circuit issued a temporary stay allowing the deployment to continue while the administration appeals the ruling. As of mid-December, National Guard troops remain on federal orders in Washington, D.C., while California has moved to reassert full state control following the Los Angeles ruling. Other states, including Illinois and Oregon, had launched similar lawsuits, several of which have led to temporary blocks or restrictions on federal involvement. The disputes have escalated concerns over presidential authority and the use of military resources in domestic law enforcement. Critics warn that federalizing state troops for routine policing risks creating what judges have described as a national police force, while supporters of the administration claim the deployment are necessary to combat rising crime and protect federal jurisdiction. With conflicting court decisions emerging across the country, legal experts anticipate that the national scope questions raised by cases including limits on federal control of the National Guard may ultimately reach the Supreme Court. Pending appeals, congressional hearings, and additional state lawsuits ensure the issue will remain at the center of U.S. political and legal debate in the months ahead. Temitope Uluwafemi reported for BTV News.
To the entertainment news, billionaire businessman Obinna Iegbu, popularly known as Obi Cubana, has reportedly been evicted from his Abuja nightclub Cashflow for the 7th time. The property located at Adetokunbo Ademola Street in Wuse 2 was cleared by officials from the FCT High Court Enforcement Unit with police officers present to maintain order. Also, over 600 artifacts stolen in high-value Bristol Museum raid. The report.
Viral video from the scene showed enforcement officers removing equipment and valuables from the premises, sparking widespread attention on social media. The eviction comes amid ongoing disputes surrounding the property, raising questions about the future of Cubana's business operations in the area. Obi Cubana first rose to national prominence following a high-profile burial ceremony that drew numerous celebrities and business executives. Nigerians are now closely watching to see how he will respond to the latest challenge, given his track record of resilience in business and entertainment ventures. Popular businessman B. Lord has announced plans to distribute 3,000 bags of rice to members of his village, Ebunebe, in Anambra State ahead of Christmas. Sharing the developments on Instagram, he posted videos of trailers unloading the rice, signaling a shift from various years when he distributed money to community members. B. Lord personally assisted in stacking the bags for distribution, emphasizing his commitment to ensuring that every member of his village has rice for the festive season. This initiative continues its tradition of supporting the community, which previously included paying jam fees and providing gifts during Christmas celebration. The gesture has been widely received as an example of giving back to local communities, with many praising his effort to directly address the need of villagers during the holiday period. B. Lord's ongoing engagement highlights a growing trend of community-focused philanthropy among Nigerian socialites and business leaders. More than 600 artifacts, including military memorabilia, jewelry, carved figurine, and natural history items, were stolen from Bristol Museum Archive in a high-value raid on 25th September. The raid targeted the museum, British Empire, and Commonwealth collection in the Cumberland Basin area, with police releasing CCTV images of 4 suspects linked to the theft. Stolen items include East India Company badges, necklace, bangles, rings, bronze and ivory figurines, and geological specimens. Police and museum officials have conducted extensive CCTV and forensic investigation while liaising with donors and victims. A public appeal is ongoing to identify the suspects and recover the stolen property. Philip Walker, head of culture and creative industries at Bristol City Council, expressed deep concern over the theft, noting that cultural and historical significance of these items. Authorities are urging anyone with information on the suspects, all believed to be white men, to come forward to aid in recovering the artifacts and bringing those responsible to justice. And that's it on the entertainment news. Evelyn is reporting for BTV News.
Bendel Insurance Football Club celebrated a major breakthrough on match day 16, securing their first away victory of the season with a hard-fought 1-0 win over Castina United. The match-winning moment came in the 72nd minute when Elma Arunta delivered a brilliant strike, lifting the Benin Arsenals out of the relegation zone and reigniting hope among fans. In a statement issued by the media officer Edoko Wilson Edoko, Edo State Sports Commission Executive Chairman Honorable Amadi Desmond in Abulili hailed the victory as a new dawn for Bendel Insurance FC. He praised the team's determination, unity and marked improvements, highlighting their ability to turn the season around. He also referenced the team's rising momentum following a commanding 3-0 victory over Wiki Tourist FC of Bauchi on March Day 15, noting that Bendel Insurance continues to build confidence and strength with every match. Assuring fans of continued support, Inabulele said they will keep backing the team with all necessary resources to ensure consistent performance. The emphatic away victory now leaves Bendel Insurance to 15th place on the NPFL League table with 19 points. Bendel Insurance FC will be back home to face Rangers International of Enugu in the NPFL Match Day 17, scheduled to hold Saturday 13 December 2025 in Benin City. And lastly, on today's bulletin, on to the sport news. Manchester City came from behind to beat Real Madrid 2-1 on Wednesday in the Champions League and leaves Xabi Alonso's position as coach of the Spanish Giants in grave danger. Without injured superstar Kylian Mbappe, Madrid took the lead through Rodrigo, but Nico O'Reilly and an Erling Haaland penalty secured Pep Guardiola's City the 3 points. Spanish media reported in the lead up to the game that a defeat would seal Alonso's fate as Madrid coach, although his team performance was creditable despite the eventual outcome at the frustrated Bernabeu Stadium. The record 15-time Champions League winner have now won just 2 of the last 8 matches across all competitions and face a battle for a place in the top 8 of the league phase table. Alonso was forced to leave his team top scorer Mbappe on the bench, saying it would have been a risk to use him amid knee discomfort and starting 21-year-old striker Gonzalo Garcia instead. And that is the size of our news package for tonight. Many thanks for joining us on Beetv Major News. I am Evelyn Izibili. Thank you and have a good night.